Good evening, America.
And I'm Taliesin.
And this is
Gather Your Band!
Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness, I am so excited. We've been building the hype for this all week. I am so thrilled. Two of my favorite bands are here tonight. Through Juniper Vale and V and Isaac, they've come all the way from Nashville to play a private concert. Backstage with us. We all got backstage because we have these awesome wristbands.
Backstage passes.
Backstage passes. Yeah. It's gonna be so good. I have been a fan of these two bands for quite some time now, and through the magic of the internet, they came. They are here, and it's been fantastic getting to know them.
You've been bouncing off the walls for like an entire week.
It's been
so
pretty
cute.
great.
It's been amazing.
And you may have seen them on Lore Masters yesterday, talking about the world behind their comics, because they have a whole world and a comic that accompanies their music. But tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about the process of making music and touring, and you know the story behind some of their songs. And we have some friends here with us to attend this backstage party to talk about some of their experiences with seeing concerts and such. Yeah. So let's meet the band first. Shut up! I'm excited. It's good. All right. Well, first of all, I guess we'll start over here with Hein. Hello, Hein. Hein is the artist behind all the V and Isaac comics and things. I don't know if you can. You can't see it. There we go.
There we are.
Thanks, team. You're the best. The Adventures of the V and Isaac's Adventures. It's a fantastic comic. You talked a little bit about on Lore Masters, but you also make music with the band.
Yeah, so I do. Vian does most of the writing. I have some songs that I've written that are in there, and we do some writing together. And then I'll do backup vocals and a little bit of drums, a little bit of guitar. So yeah.
And just real quick too, I think people yesterday, it was never addressed why your recreation outfit.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I LARP. So this is kind of. But I also do historical like reenactment and historical shooting and all this other stuff. So this is like what I love to wear, especially in the office. These guys come on in the office.
Yeah, it's awesome. I super love it. Like, this is your true self.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love wearing this. And I dress up in my apartment and walk around like this.
Nice. Super cool. We are all about that. You're dressing up as your true self.
That is a very, very popular pastime at this camp.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sarah! Hi! Sarah, from Through Juniper Vale was like a surprise, kind of last minute add-on. We'd contacted V and Isaac, and we were talking about the set list and everything, and they said, oh, and by the way, Sarah from Through Juniper Vale is coming. Like, can she like hang out off camera or something, or on camera, whatever? And I was like, oh, you don't understand. Like, I'm such a huge fan too. So
I've been like freaking out this whole time that we've been here. This is like probably one of the best couple days of my life. Just like hanging out with you. Really, I'm not even just saying that. Like, you guys have made us feel so welcome and so at home that I don't want to leave.
And there's adventures through Juniper Vale, and one of the themes in there is finding home, and Sarah in the comic finds home through community, and that's something here that, I mean, it's just, that's us.
I don't get the connection. Getting the last of my irony out.
I know. I mean, this is like band. This is like a concert going Taliesin.
This is my attempt to recreate the 1990s concert going material.
So like flannel,
I had to buy
and
flannel
the
today.
Banshees and sarcasm.
Glow stick. I don't
Glow
even like
sticks.
glow sticks. We had the glow stick.
Got my glow stick. Yeah, cracked my glow stick. Yeah.
This is what we did now once they were like no lighters. The lighters got to be inappropriate, and we couldn't do that in here because we get yelled at very loudly from off camera.
That's right.
So.
Man. One day, fire.
One day, fire.
One day, fire. Oh yeah. You're shaking your head no at me, Ryan, but you just wait and see. Just you wait.
I think he's just trying to like.
No, Liz looks at me like she's gonna kill me. Just you wait. All right, just you.
No.
Nope, we can't even sing
do
that. Great. Vion, the mastermind behind most of the music of V and Isaac.
That's right. Hello.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We
Thanks for
really
having us.
appreciate it.
You guys have treated us so well, so I'm excited to play some music for you.
Yeah, and we brought some friends backstage with us. They're so cool. If y'all want to go down the line and introduce yourselves and your experience with concert going and music.
My name's Lauren. You might know me from Merchant Green Leatherworks. My first concert was actually the Beach Boys.
Whoa!
My second concert was Gloria Estefan, and I caught the hanky. It was the best. So I've gone to like the big acts. I think my favorite concert though was the Avett Brothers at the Corn Dog-O-Rama, where you paid $2 for a corn dog and a beer.
Corn Dog-O-Rama?
Yes, the Corn Dog-O-Rama was at a dive bar in Atlanta, and it was the best.
Best time
And
ever.
it was a festival as much as drunk guys in a bar can be a festival. And there was a stage in the front room and a stage in the back room, and then there were some show choir risers out in the back alley. That's where the Avett Brothers played at that time. And their kick drum kept falling off the stage, and we had to help them get
That is
up the 6 inches onto the show choir risers.
peak
So
corn
yeah, so
doggery.
I've run the gamut. I used to go to the Ryman a lot with my grandfather. He was on the Ryman or in the Opry for years and years. So run the gambit of things.
And you and I actually wrote a song together.
We did.
Oh my god, I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Until just this moment. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also did the Game of Thrones theme, played the Game of Thrones theme at a party, and then pulled out Nerf
That was
guns.
in my lap part.
And said the Lannisters send their regards and red
Yeah.
wine to everybody.
Yeah, never underestimate how many Nerf guns you can fit in a violin case.
Uh-huh. A lot. The answer is a lot.
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm at the Lexicon. I do animation, and I just finished a new animated video. Right, Erica?
Yeah,
That
it's
you
a
should-
music video.
It's a music video, actually, and you should totally watch it. And it took forever because I animated it by myself.
Animators are insane people.
I'm a crazy person. As for music, Erica and I actually met in orchestra. We both play the violin since we were
when was
12
that?
years old, and we've done like fiddling stuff, like concert in the park. I played backstage at the orchestra for Les Mis for like a youth ensemble.
Oh my
production.
god, yeah, that's
That
right.
was so much fun.
Sometimes I joined you guys for that. I just sat in. And then
Yeah.
also, we were on a TV show where we played violin, remember?
No. Wait,
what
are you doing? Wait, what?
We were Kate Brasher, the pilot. We were in the pilot.
There
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we were, and then we had to make a face for something. We were like, they told us all to make a weird face.
Yeah.
That's an
That's great.
exciting story
That's
right there.
Yeah.
We were on TV for 5 minutes and we made a weird face. That's it.
Is that what we're doing here?
No, that's
Yeah.
Kind of how we make a living here. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jared Rosen. I am the skins writing lead for League of Legends. You can find me at Not Quite Frodo. Yeah, it's funny.
I know.
My dad was one of the sound mixers for Metallica.
Wait, what?
If you see old photos of them touring in the late 80s and see like a guy in an orange jumpsuit with a beard in the background, it's my dad.
Googling.
So my first concert was seeing Kansas live because he was their agent. At the
God, I
time.
was the coolest person
Yeah,
for like 4
I ended up
seconds.
seeing like I saw as a kid I ended up going on like parts of tours with Kansas and Oasis and the Scorpions.
What?
Yeah, I as a human was in a church choir for a little bit, and then I went into a regular choir and then musical theater afterwards. Yes, I
You
know.
were in a church?
I was in a church
What?
choir.
Yeah, that was my
Church.
takeaway.
I know, for a guy who writes about demons so much.
You have to learn it somewhere.
Yeah,
They
it's gotta
teach
go
you a lot about demons in
Yeah,
church.
they love those demons in church. Can't have God without demons.
No,
That's
no.
what I learned. And then on top of that, I used to throw raves when I was in college. So I threw raves in the woods, and I coupled that with I was a music journalist for Forward.dj, which at the time was like the #1 techno magazine in Germany.
I swear to God, every time we talk, there's something new.
Yeah.
It's always some damn thing.
Yep.
Jared, always something.
So Gina, what do you do?
What are you gonna do, Gina?
Let me just say, I'm so glad I went last. Hello, I'm Gina. I have done none of those things. But my first concert was Weird Al.
Oh.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, and I've been to concerts since. I'm just here to listen to fun music.
I'm so sorry, Gina.
Yeah, you should come. You
Damn
can,
it,
next
time
time
when
get
you're
their
going
stories
last.
and put me in front. Put me over there.
You know, I was tempted to start at the other end, but I was like, no, she's cool.
I am cool,
You
but
are.
not
Super cool.
in that
You're
way.
backstage with the band.
Yeah. It's probably because I fudged the band.
You did an arts and crafts.
The arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts.
piece, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we had help.
So we are the band is doing 3 different sets for us this evening. Some of them with crossovers with Sarah, and some of them just their music. And I don't know. I think we're just gonna basically be talking about how you guys make the music and how. And I'm sure there are people in chat that have questions about inspiration for music or how to get started and like how to train to be a musician. I think so.
I like how you looked at me.
Yeah. How do
You begin with spats, and then you move slowly for you.
Spats
You need
first.
spats for music.
Spats or a bow tie. I
Yeah.
know one works.
Yeah.
That's day one, how to dress like a musician.
Music.
Thank you. That's all it really is.
Spats and sock garters. Essentials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Essential stuff. I'm so glad you know spats.
Oh, man, I love-
Everybody I hang out with, like, oh, what are those?
Allison would be the man to know
those
what
are, and those
spats
are those are some spectacular, and those are like
Right?
some very serious spats. Those
Yeah,
are not
very
the
high
spats of
up.
like those are spats of somebody who has to go out and do things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
spectacular.
First one of the night.
This is why you invited me.
But before this, since all of you sort of play and perform your music as your characters, sort of like guerrillas style, and this is you're all just starting to tour live.
Yes.
And this is like kind of one of your early stops.
Yes.
In that. But can you talk a little bit about those characters and your relationship to them? Like, are they you, and they just kind of represent you, or?
They're maybe the best versions of us, that, the ideal versions of us. So for my brother and I, for our characters, they're named after us, so they are us. But we talk a lot about narrative and how we're going to move the narrative forward for the comics and for the music, and we definitely always tied back to our lives in some way, even if it's just on an emotional level. But we'd love to one day be in the Arctic in a giant time traveling machine. But, it's maybe
It's
not
unlikely.
Yeah.
But not impossible.
Yeah.
It's just unlikely.
Right. If you have not heard the story behind all of the music in the comic, please make sure to watch yesterday's episode of Lore Masters. It was very enlightening, but I guess briefly, if you want to give them like just a little
Quick rundown.
of the comic.
Yeah, Vian and Hein are these 2 brothers who go into the Arctic, and they are commissioned to map out the Arctic. And so they're given this vehicle to drive around in, and they start finding all of these strange things like African animals, ancient massive sculptures, and like solid ground beneath the ice. And so then there's this mystery that they kind of need to solve. And the comic is about what's going on with that and how that's happening. And it's kind of the pitch without the reveal. But
Yeah.
so,
Solid.
and so the whole time they adventure, and it's gonna make a little bit of music. No, a little bit.
And then Sarah.
Yeah, so Through Juniper Vale is kind of like a concept project about home. And there are these 2 main characters, Sarah Jane and her pet turtle, Senalala. And they live in kind of this dystopian world that, she's never heard the word home before. And she finds a little piece of paper that has a picture of a house on it, and the word home on it, and she's like, I need to find out what this is. And so they go on this adventure together, and they meet a lot of people along the way, and the whole concept of the story. So we did audiobooks and I guess audio dramas and like travel logs, which are her diaries along the way. And I guess the main theme is just really finding home in community. But we just did a smaller version of a comic, kind of like an intro comic, on our Instagram. So if you actually visit the Instagram and scroll all the way to the
Read
bottom,
from the bottom up. It's
you can
so
read the comic
cool.
from the bottom up, and that's kind of recapping everything that was in the audiobooks so that we can move forward and start doing larger comics.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2.
Fantastic. Is it time? Can we
Probably getting
form it?
close.
Okay. Can we have a couple of minutes? Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, so for all of those, how does your music all fit into the stories that because when you read the comics, like for the Vian Isaac's Adventures, they have posted at the bottom for certain pages, certain songs to listen to. How do those tie into the comic?
Yeah, so they tie in a little. We were doing the comic and the music kind of together. So so there were these kind of moments where the comic lines up to the music, but since the story was all written out from the beginning, there's more of like a middle moment, a real moment in the comic where everything comes together and you understand where the music comes from and everything, and like the album covers are in the comic and everything. I don't know if you. Yeah,
No, that's great. That's about it. We were working on the project at the same time, the whole time. So there's a lot of emotional relation between the comic and the songs because we were recording them and writing the comic at the same time. And then yes, there is a nice moment, a nice few pages where everything kind of makes sense and comes together.
And what's really cool is the characters, even though you don't see it much in the comic, but the characters are us and they do have instruments and play instruments and have all that stuff, so they also do that as like a pastime.
As they travel.
They travel.
Yeah, there was the North Pole concert.
Yeah, the North Pole concert.
Yeah.
That's
That,
right.
I watched that just today because
Wait,
yeah, it was so good. I'm sorry. I just want to point out like how like clever that was to really like genuinely put your fans in the experience.
It was so cool.
It was so cool. And I had heard some of your music before, but not like made the connection until I went back and listened when I found out I was going to be on the show. And that was just a really cool idea. If you haven't seen it, they put on a concert at the North Pole, and I guess it was their Kickstarter supporters, correct? Was that?
No,
just
we just
fans.
Oh, just fans.
yeah, we just tweeted it out.
Didn't even make them
They paid money for it.
We realized afterwards we're like, oh my god.
Hey, concert too. No, just kidding.
Oh,
But
we
no,
will, maybe.
it was such a clever idea, and it was really wonderful to see how diverse your audiences was too, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a couple puppies, so you
Yes.
Did people
took
send
pictures with their
puppies?
dogs.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was that they asked for selfies from fans and then they drew them into this concert that took place in the North Pole that
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
played,
Yeah, absolutely.
and just like you actually put like everybody
Yeah, hand drew everybody into that. It was
so cute.
I
It's
remember
so cute.
you called me about the idea. You were like, and because I was working in New York at that time.
Yeah.
And he calls me and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And I'm like, awesome, yeah. And he's like, can you draw like 250 faces? Like,
Oh my
I was like, yeah, no, yeah, totally. And then like 100 faces in, I was like, Fionn, like. But we pushed through. We pushed through.
Yeah, you
Wow.
did it.
It comes together beautifully.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you.
It's really
That's so
good.
nice.
But also I don't know. Did you discuss it on Lore Master? Didn't Ryan call you out as like watching? Like what you listen to sometimes while you're doing the comic?
Yeah, like
Did he
the
say-
music. The,
No,
None of the
the
geek and
channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
the channel.
Did he make you talk about that?
Yeah, but I.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it was.
because I find out, I guess like you run and you guys were tweeting at each other and stuff, and then he found out that you.
Yes, I've been a big Geek and Sundry fan. So,
This
yeah.
whole night is designed to break Eric. I'm so glad. Oh.
No, when I found out it was, he called me. He was like, hey, do you know? Because he runs everything. It's just amazing. So he calls me up and I'm just hanging out and he's like, hey, do you know like these guys called Geek and Sundry? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, no, they like want us on their shows. Like, and I was like, and I almost cried. Anyway. Hey, real men with spats, don't cry.
Then you got to get the leg all the way up. It's a lot of flexibility. I'm still working. I'm not there yet.
Oh, wow. So No, it's great. It was worlds colliding, and we're so thrilled you all came out. You're all you're all in Nashville right now, making music, and you all came in here for that. But briefly, too, what is your background for music? How did you come to this, to the band?
I think when I was 12, I saw a Coldplay DVD concert, and then I just got hooked, and I didn't do anything else for since then. So I'm self-taught on most things, and I just was very passionate and Hein sometimes says obsessed, but I call it passion. So and then moved to Nashville after high school, and went to school for audio engineering, and then opened a studio right after I graduated. So I've just been producing other people and making music.
Music in Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just been doing it. That's not really a great story, but yeah, just since I was very young. Been doing it.
He's been very obsessed.
As someone who comes from Nashville, that does not happen often. You had to have had at least a small amount of talent to make it in that town, because it's the Dixie Chicks wrote a song about it called Heartbreak Town. Like, that's about Nashville, about how it just like tears people apart. So you're doing well, especially if you opened a studio in Nashville, because there's only like 37,000 there. So don't downplay that. That's
all right.
that's
So
a
I
good
opened up a studio, and it's on Music Row as well.
Yeah.
So
And it said, it's like the.
Wait. How close to Studio A? Because that's the
studio.
the Quonset huts.
Right next to.
Shut up.
Right next to the Quonset hut.
I have no
Across the street.
No, it's right next to Yeah. So we work out of there. And
Oh, no big deal.
I think I saw on the website you said like for the studio it's like the number 3 or like it's like up there in terms of like the most records or something like that. There's some accolade.
Hut?
No, for your studio. No, there's some accolade.
An
that-
award.
Yeah, some award.
I don't
something.
remember.
I have to check
He's
that.
the first cartoon character to be making records.
Yes, that was
That's
it.
it. Yes. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, that award. Yeah.
But Sarah, you're classically trained.
Yeah, so my dad actually is a musician, and so I grew up hearing him play guitar, and he has written songs about me and like my siblings when we were little, and he's actually watching from Mexico right now.
Hey Dad! How's it going? Hello!
There's Brian.
Yeah.
Hello, Brian! It's good to see you!
It's really because of him. I think he used to play guitar, and he said that when I was like 2 years old, I would make up little songs over his guitar when he would play, which is super cute. And so I in high school, I actually started playing shows around town in my hometown, and he would help set up all of my gear for me, and he would come up and play guitar for me on some songs. And my brother also plays drums, so we kind of like had a bit of a family band, I guess, in my hometown. And then I moved to Nashville to go to school for music, and I actually majored in classical voice, so like opera, I guess.
So Belmont.
Actually, Lipscomb.
Lipscomb.
Yeah, I would go.
We need to trade stories later.
And learned so much there, and then actually started a folk band while I was at Lipscomb.
Arcadian Wild,
Yeah,
which is
Arcadian
also on
Wild.
Spotify.
Yeah, so that's where I learned how to play banjo, and then and then
Is that a good? Oh.
I love banjo.
Love banjo.
and then Vion actually produced our record, so that's how I met Vion, and then we started writing pop music together, and now here we are.
history.
Yeah.
And Hein,
Yes.
you're an artist.
Yes, I am an illustrator primarily, and then Vion's drive throughout our childhood kind of roped me into a lot of music because I was around. So he was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, why don't you play guitar?" And I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
This is some Elfman shit right here. This is very Elfman family.
Wait, what?
Yeah, with the Elfman brothers, when they just sort of started a band and didn't and they were like, we'll learn how to play by just doing it. It'll be great. And it's
That's
kinda,
very much.
yeah.
Did not know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How we got Oingo Boingo?
Yeah, that's how we got Oingo Boingo.
Wow.
Oh,
So-
boy.
You
So,
had
yeah,
to
so-
learn how to write music later.
You got roped into it.
No, yeah. So I got roped into it, and big thing is we recorded because most people don't. Yeah, Vian produces and runs everything, so he self-taught himself a lot of audio and engineering stuff too, because he recorded us in our parents' closet for like our high school band and everything, and we printed CDs and everything, and like mixed, mastered. So it was very cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to get started.
It's time.
Yeah. Did you guys want to like say what you're playing now, or just kind of go up and do it, or how do you want to do it?
We'll just go up and do it.
Go.
Awesome. Go up and do it. Great.
I'm mostly scared, I am mostly unprepared, I'm a mess. I've lost most of myself as the waves came crashing down, I'm a wreck. I bought up all my dreams and sold off most my heart. I've been lying to myself just to bury all my thoughts. That I'm mostly scared, I am mostly unprepared, I'm a mess. I've lost most of myself as the waves came crashing down, I'm a wreck. I've been burying my sins, and I paid the deadly cost of a life full of success and an empty, broken heart. That's mostly scared, mostly unprepared, and a mess. It's lost most of itself as the waves came crashing down and is a wreck. Of trying to get up, oh, a sleepless night of thoughts and doubts. Fixing coffee and trying to fix this life, pouring hope back on the fire that's gone out. Just one drop in a sea of have-nots and a waterfall of would have rather done. Praying now, 'cause everywhere I turn, I hear the voices in my head, they burn. Yeah, I'm just a little bit lost, just a little out of touch with the plan. Yeah, I'm just a little bit lost. I could use a little love and a hand. Ooh. In the dead of night, the loudest sounds I hear are the memories shaped by shame and fear. Don't worry now, let each day become its own. What tomorrow brings, nobody really knows. Yeah, I'm just a little bit lost, just a little out of touch with the plan. Yeah, I'm just a little bit lost. I
I could use a little love and a hand. Ooh. Just a little bit lost, just a little out of touch with the plan. Yeah, I'm just a little bit lost. I could use a little love and a hand. Ooh.
Yeah.
That last one was for Ryan.
Spring rain brings summer pain. We'll rebuild again. She sang, and from the porch it rang. She's calling me in. Caught in the heat of the mid-afternoon. Your eyes were a storm. Stuck in a room, we had nothing to do except feel the warmth. But we will roll out on that water, roll out on that water, roll out on that starlit summer's eve. Yeah, we will roll out on that water, roll out on that water, roll out on that starlit summer's eve. And we sought out all we could, but it wasn't enough. And hell below, it is freezing cold, and God is above. But I've got you and you've got me. That's all we need. I'm empty, got a rage within. I'm a storm you see. That we will roll out on that water, roll out on that water, roll out on that starlit summer's eve. Yeah, we will roll out on that water, roll out on that water, roll out on that starlit summer's eve. We will roll out on that water. We will roll out on that water. We will roll out on that starlit summer's eve. Yeah, we will roll out on that water. Roll out on that water. Roll out on that starlit summer's eve.
you so much. So that song is called Starlit Summer's Eve. The first one I played is called Mostly, and that went into a song called Little Lost. And this will be the last one for this first set, and it's called Revolver, and it was written by Hein. It's the last dance of the evening. Let the moon just shine. Take my hand, we'll commit treason and let the men of Prinsloo fight. And this war's so overrated. All I need is a piece of the night and for your heart to be in my favor. And so I dropped my revolver, not a soldier. When I found out that love can bring down the rain, and I hold her, call her over. This girl in my arms is gonna see better days. Yeah, Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Let the stars shine, and I'm reasoning that the moon's just fine. We'll keep it in the sky where our feet have been on this barefoot night. Let those hounds set loose. 'Cause we've been dancing in the brush all night, and yeah, we smell like the woods. So I dropped my revolver, not a soldier. When I found out that love can bring down the rain, and I hold her, call her over. This girl in my arms is gonna see better days. Yeah, Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. And so I dropped my revolver, not a soldier. When I found out that love can bring down the rain, and I hold her, call her over. This girl in my arms is gonna see better days. Yeah, Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Sinalala, Sinalala, oh Sinalala. Oh, thanks so much, guys.
Oh my gosh, guys, take a second to read chat, like to get up close and look at chat if you can or something. We can get a tablet back or something. Like, oh my god. Yeah, there's been a lot of clapping, a lot of lighters in there. People are going insane in chat. Wow.
This is everything I wanted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So if you guys want to, Chad is pretty excited about it, I think. Yeah, and then everybody's getting timed out because they're putting in too many emotes, too many of the heart and the lighters and everything.
I get kicked out frequently for all guys.
So if you want to take a look, so Chad, they can see you now.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's.
Yes. No. I was.
Okay, I'm so glad someone.
Oh no. Yeah.
Not that I wrote it for that.
No, but I feel that. I feel that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God.
No, quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh Oh
He's
yeah.
having what we like to call a heavy moment.
Yeah,
There's no
this is a
softness,
lot.
there's no
It's a lot right now. This is amazing. Thank you so much. So
Miss
so
Aguilar.
all of those, there are some of them that you have commentary about on Northern Anthems, the album you just put out, has an accompanying commentary track. So like talking a little bit about like how things are made and some of them. Revolver's not actually on Northern Anthems.
No, Revolver was the first
Yeah.
song we ever released. So that was released in 2016, like May of 2016. So that's our oldest one. So.
Wow, you guys have only been going for like 2 years now.
Yes.
Another
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
This is so insane.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, so where did that come from? Because there's a narrative in there.
Yes. The narrative of Northern Anthems.
Yeah, in Northern Anthems and Revolver.
Oh,
as
and
well.
Revolver.
Yeah,
Well, if you want to ask about Revolver, that's
Yeah.
Heinz Song. So
Oh
he-
yeah,
he-
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well.
I like history and historical stuff, so a lot of my songs tend to kind of go in that aspect, and we tend to do that a lot with what we write together as well. So, but I don't know what the narrative in there was per se. I love cowboys. I love the West. I love the whole idea of like old westerns and all of that. So I kind of wanted to write a song that had that in it. So it just kind of happened. I don't know like where exactly the narrative came from, but yeah, that's sort of the gist of it.
Right. And so what war is it? That
It is no war. Oh no, it is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's-
Yeah, Prince Luke.
Yeah. We were both born in South Africa and raised in South Africa. So it was a battle in South Africa. Was it against? It was the English versus
It was
the,
Prince
the,
Luke was the English.
versus
Or he
the-
was he was the South African, and it was the Anglo-Boer War.
Yeah, Anglo-Boer War. I think.
I'm sure
Dad,
chat
sorry if
chat
you missed
will
it.
like.
Someone
Yeah,
in
yeah,
chat
yeah.
will
Let us
know
know
that.
that. I'm sure we got some history buffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I completely
My
forgot.
dad's watching. He's a history buff.
Yeah, he
Oh.
knows. He'll know.
Hello,
Dad.
Mr.
So
Isaac.
many, so many, so
Dad,
many.
get on chat.
So
Yeah,
many
so-
dads becoming Twitch members today.
I know, right? Totally. So yeah, it is historical. So it had that in mind, and we always pull from there. We pull from our history and like from all of that, and personal history, and you know.
And then real history too, with
Yeah.
sampling as well. So a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of
Right.
the
So
album.
for Starlit Summer's Eve,
Yes.
can you talk a little bit about
Yeah,
the,
so
the sampling in the beginning?
Yeah, so that
I'll
little sample you
belong.
hear, that guy singing, we found public domain recordings of former slaves. So right when they first figured out how to record stuff with gramophones, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
or
like,
something.
yeah.
Into the
They would
it's a
inter-
heritage project.
Yes, they would interview former slaves or kids of former slaves and have them sing the songs that they would sing in the fields as they worked. So I've discovered it, and I was going through them and listening to them, and that specific one was, when I heard it, it was quite an emotional moment for me, and I kind of wanted to honor, that man's suffering and but make it into something beautiful, So I built up Starlight Summer's Eve around that sample to kind of make something beautiful out of suffering. So yeah, not to get too heavy.
Yeah,
but-
I love. No, yeah, absolutely. I love the stories behind all of it, and yeah, and let's see. Oh gosh, and mostly, I mean, speaking of suffering, you talk a lot about on the commentary. And
Yes.
don't mind if I bring it up?
Yeah,
Just-
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Just
yeah.
like mostly and Little Lost.
Yes, yeah.
Came from like deep personal.
Loss. Yeah.
Loss,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
So we set out with this album with Northern Anthems. We wanted to make this like upbeat like pop album. And then I went.
Okay. I'm sorry if you did not completely 100%.
No. We were about halfway, and then I went through a bad breakup, and then my mind sort of went elsewhere, and so I spent many nights at the studio alone and just kind of trying to process. When a relationship falls apart, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of self-doubt, and that kind of thing. So working through that's what the album became about. So it starts off, there's a few like happy, like I love you, life's great, and then like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, okay, like some dips, and so it's
Cliff in the north.
Chad is saying like, good try, guys.
Yeah.
Good try, upbeat pop.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Good try.
Next one, the next one. I'm very happy now. So
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's so funny because like I met you guys and you guys are just like super upbeat, happy people.
Yeah,
So and it's wonderful that you can turn to sort of the darker moments of life and history and make something beautiful out of it.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not enough, like, everyone's always, from the outside, you know, they all look happy, and you just don't know what stories are happening in people's lives, and I didn't really ever realize that because I work on music so much, you know, and then when it happened to me, I realized, oh my gosh, like, so the album is sort of wanting to share that and recognizing that everyone sort of is dealing with something like that, you know, some form of loss or struggle, so, yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This is what you brought us.
I know. I can't. It's just a little surreal for me.
I'm aware. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, you're enjoying.
Oh, this is everything I signed up for.
Great. Great. But Hein, you don't you've done vocals on the tracks normally and everything, but
So-
you said you don't normally do guitar.
No, so and I don't do guitar on a lot of the tracks. Was there any track that I actually played on the guitar for?
I think you played the second guitar on Revolve.
I did. That's right. I'm proud of that. For this little, we just had not really a tour, but like a mini. We had to stop in Colorado and then like here and everything. So for this, Vian was like, "Get on the guitar like you used to when we were kids." And I was like, "Okay." So luckily he told me a month in advance. And it was just like, "Tomorrow we're leaving. You're playing at these shows." So I rehearsed all that and everything. But then the vocals that I do, I'll just be working in the studio, drawing. And he'll just pop in and be like, "Hey, I need you to like belt really loud on this song." I'll get in the vocal booth and everything, and so yeah.
Yeah, so our studio is also we have like 4 rooms, and 2 of them is a recording studio. That's where I work, and then one is Hein's space, and it's just art and that kind of thing. And then we launched our own record label to share the music, and so we have an office space as well. That's the record.
Right.
Record label,
So record label, you have other folks that you do producing for, Polar.
Yes.
And let's see, Arcadian Wild still, and who else? And
There are
gosh.
few some instrumental projects. Ben Laver from the UK. He's a phenomenal composer. Captain Dipper and the Strawberry Girls.
Right.
Another band.
That's another one that you play
Yeah,
on.
yeah, that's right. So
It's very cute. That music is very
great.
cute.
That was the goal. So
Yeah. Okay. Good.
but yeah, no. So it's just a very fun, creative space. Just like here, when I'm here, I feel like I'm at my studio because everyone's just working on stuff and having fun.
There's always something going on here.
There are many cities asking for you to visit at the
Yeah,
moment.
that's the thing is that. Well, are you planning on doing more touring? I know you're both you know, Through Gina Prevail and V and Isaac are planning some comic cons.
Yes,
later
Denver
this
Comic Con, Knoxville Fanboy Expo.
Yeah.
We have tables at both those. So that's more for the comic angle. This was our test to see how to translate all this over to live. And thank you.
I was going to say, yes, that worked out well.
So now our next step is figuring out, you know, what cities to come to and play.
I saw some Colorados in here, so that's
Right.
exciting.
Yeah. So okay. Oh, people are just calling out like come to Cali.
Montreal,
Cali,
New York,
Boston,
Boston.
Oh, please,
Washington.
Boston.
Yeah, New York.
That sounds like a Boston person. Please pay attention, guys.
Seattle loves you. They're saying, I guess just please. I mean, they're on Twitter now. You've started tweeting more now. I poked him and I'm like, you should tweet. The people would like to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. So for both of them, like you can find them on social media and like let them know if you want them in your town, or maybe if you have like comic conventions you can invite them to, or tweet and tag them like to your local comic conventions and everything, and so they can be invited and everything. Because
Just if you have like D&D games you're playing.
Or they can drop in on.
Crash
That's That's
D&D.
right,
Yeah,
right, because
absolutely.
Hein is starting to run Pathfinder.
Yes,
for
Pathfinder.
You're,
people.
oh,
yeah.
that's right, you're DMing
For them,
Pathfinder.
yeah.
Brave man. Brave man.
That's-
Oh.
And also PUBG. If anyone plays PUBG,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on PUBG.
I'm trying to find people because I'm
Yeah.
tired of playing solo. So. You play PUBG?
Yeah, that chicken dinner.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, people are way into the idea of D&D and stuff. Dragon Con.
Oh!
Monty, 003.
Yeah, that's our old dog's name.
Oh, hello. How's it
His
going?
name's Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
Oh no.
Oh man. Yeah, so please let them know where if you want them to visit your town and stuff. And I mean, because I guess this was the first stop in the tour, really.
Yeah.
guess.
So please let us know. We would love to come play and hang out. So.
Come back to LA! For sure. I mean, there's so many places locally to play in LA, like great little theaters and.
That's
and
awesome.
You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a venue.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Literally, you put a dead cat on any venue that we have.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Oh, now Chad is saying hello to Taylor. Hi, Taylor.
He's the
Oh
best.
no. That's very funny.
But really, one last thing about the touring is we're trying to figure out how to create kind of a way to have the fans come to a show, but also become immersed and experience the world as well.
Right.
So I think that's kind of today, all this morning, that's all we've been talking about. Is like, oh my gosh, we could do this like at a venue, and maybe we could get like we're having a bunch of ideas on how to have our tours or our shows be a complete experience where when you walk in the room, you step into the worlds. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's what we're-
love that idea.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because we about a year ago we were like, okay, let's organize a tour, and I don't know, I think maybe this was just us being scared, but I'm over that now. But we really want to like take the art and make it a narrative with the art when we do a show. So that's what's taking a lot of time, is like trying to figure out what medium we want to deliver the art along with the music.
We have some of the real quick. We have some of the art in our in the system now,
Use the
right? And
technology.
we'll be showing some of that later. Yeah, later. Yes.
Oh,
Anyway.
there we
Or
go.
now. We'll show it now.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chief. Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
It's so great.
Which characters are these? Tell us.
This is us, me
Vion
and
and
my
Hein.
brother.
I'm the one
Yes.
standing.
Yeah, I'm saying which is which.
Oh, sorry. Vion is the tall one, and I'm the one sitting down.
I got
With the dark hair.
With the like
and
staff with the
it's so-
microphone on it.
So
like,
would it be insane, by the way, if I made a brief comparison to the art of Spartacus and the Sun Beneath the Sea? If that was like a
I've not.
oh, I was
What is
hoping
that?
for it.
No
It was
experience.
it was a beautiful European animated series from back in the '80s. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll dig some of it.
Yeah,
But it
please
had,
do that.
had
It
those
does-
beautiful lines, those soft curves.
So
I love-
it does. There are. Oh gosh. Yeah. So this is the Through Juniper Vale. It's Sinaloa and Sarah J.
That's
Oh.
That's not the turtle I expected.
Yeah, she rides on his back. He has his house, and then her house is on the top of his little shop.
I love lights on sticks. Anytime you can put a light on a
Yes,
stick, that's
yes,
just like one of the
same,
like,
same.
it's a light on a stick. Oh, I'm so in. No, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
I was about to say, if you came up against an anglerfish, it would not be good times for Taliesin.
No, but I've always loved the angler bit.
Me too.
Like,
I've always wanted to do like
I put it
an
on a-
anglerfish, like a haute couture anglerfish costume with like a little
I
tiny hat
had
with a light.
I had my own vampire clan that I made when we were LARPing, and they had little angler light, and I had like little vampires with angler light. It was a whole thing. They were like, it was a.
Oh my God.
I was so. Oh man, it was bad.
That's so
it was
good.
so bad. It was so bad.
But you have so the comics are actually available if you want. You can buy physical copies of them.
Yes.
And I think there's the link.
There should
in
be.
the,
They're on our
in-
website.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
Chat. Somebody can put
If
it.
somebody
in the
will
chat.
put it in the chat several times.
Also, God, there was one more thing I was going to say about the comic. Yes, it does have like sort of a European comic sense to it.
Yeah,
like sort of like
there's a
more
very
like-
European sensibility.
Like, there's a little bit of like Mobius, Jean-Jerome Mobius. I don't know.
Little, I'd say, like from what I've seen, it's a little Mobius. It's got a little bit of like I was reading Skydoll recently. It's like
It's not that it like is the same like style. It's just it gives me the feeling.
You
of
guys
it.
have
everything. There's so much
Yeah.
curve.
do that. could do
That's
that.
awesome. I've never gotten that. So, and yeah, I am so glad because I don't think I know even what that is. European style.
Yeah.
We have a pile over it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay.
It's coming in through the security door.
The security door.
Restricted access.
Yeah.
There
Thank
it
you.
That's $2 I've ever spent.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's very.
Oh, this is your copy. It is signed.
Oh, it's Ryan's copy.
This is Ryan's copy. It is signed. Yeah. So this is the comic, and it's really beautiful.
And
We're gonna pretend it's
Yeah.
Wednesday Club, and we're gonna get a
Yeah.
nice shot.
Yeah.
of
That's
it.
the thing is that we didn't think to Wednesday
I've had
Club.
half a brain.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
I'll probably bring it up this
Yeah.
week.
It does. It feels because it's like fantastic flying machines and fantasticness. Yeah.
Oh, and we advertise our own music.
I love it. It's like a 1940s radio drama.
Yes,
it's like it needs to be like narrated and so that the
I'm
Mid-Atlantic.
so
Sort
glad
of.
you mentioned that because it is just like a 19. It's like written in the voice style. Of
We all
1940s.
know that good music.
Should I
We've been there before.
Yeah.
Should I
Do your voice. Do the
Do
voice.
your voice. Do this ad.
Do this ad. Okay. All right.
ad.
We'll do
Do
this
this
ad.
ad.
We will return to Vienna Isaac's adventures in just a moment. But first, I'd like to share with you something truly wholesome. We all know that good music leads to good living, and there's no better music than Vian's music. Paid for by the Adventure and Co-Funds for the Arts. Just search Vian Isaac on Spotify and see what good music can do for your life today. We now return to Vian Isaac's adventures. And I used to listen to a
Sherlock Holmes.
yes, old time radio archives of Sherlock Holmes, and I loved the Petri wine commercial that they had in the beginning. Before that, every time to the point where like I knew it and I knew the names and everything, and it's just the best to me is the host plugs it as if they're like
Anytime they
yeah,
roll
yeah.
right into the commercial.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, oh, speaking of wine, like I drink Petri wine.
Petri wine, everything.
Exactly.
Four glasses. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it when they roll right into it.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
chat with
Oh,
is
it's-
a fan of this. Chat
Yeah,
is a fan of
chat's happy.
Yeah, so I really, honestly, I mean, I think Revolver was the first song that I really, I'd heard, I think it was, a couple of other songs before that, but Revolver was the first one where I, like, actually saw the art, like, paired with it, and I was like, oh, I am fascinated by it. And then I looked you guys up, and then there was the comic, and one thing led to another, and then through Juniper Vale, and yeah, it's just this great world because I love flying machines and adventure and comics.
You do like adventure.
I
And I definitely have seen you mention things that fly that are not organic. That's interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't put that together.
This is 90s concert
Hi.
television. I love 90s
Yeah.
concert television.
Oh, that's cool. Man.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Hang loose, guys. Hang loose.
Flannel. I had, again, this is the first flannel I've owned in so long.
Helson's gone full plaid.
I have gone full flannel. This is so comfy. Yeah.
It looks comfy.
It's so comfy. Yeah, it's wonderful.
But
Yeah.
and this is the I don't know.
I know.
It's spoilery, I guess.
It
but,
is spoilery.
But Sarah Jane makes a cameo.
Yeah, it's a
in
little
this one. Makes
cameo.
a little cameo.
Nice. Everyone loves a shirt.
And there's more of that to come in the future.
Oh.
Little crossover issues, things like that happening. Yeah, sorry, thank you.
I mean, you guys also gave away some other projects that you guys were working, secret projects that you were working on
Yes, we
on
did.
Lore Masters.
Yes,
so go
that's
ahead and
right.
check
Yeah,
that
Lore
out.
Masters, Ryan saw right through us.
And
So this
you
is where
brought
the
camera
story's
forward.
going, and we're like, oh, jeez. We figured it out. Exactly.
We're like, that's a great idea. Yeah, it is.
Right.
We never thought of that.
Right. Well, I hope you all come back on other shows to
we'd love
discuss
to.
that.
I mean, you know,
when
if you guys are
that-
going to start touring a little bit, I mean, it actually fascinates me because I do have. I've over the last 20 years, I've watched friends who are professional musicians try and figure out what it is to be a professional musician in the 21st century, where the rules have, I probably feel like the fifth time in the industry, just been decimated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is a weird thing to make a living as an artist in this world, and I'm always fascinated by the ways that we figure out how to do it, because the minute you discover the way to do it, it kind of almost dissolves behind you.
That's so true.
And I have people ask me about VO all the time, and I'm like, all of my advice is not applicable anymore.
Yeah.
It's all obsolete.
Just like making art in our time just moves so fast that you just have to figure out whatever's next.
And we definitely owe that a lot to Vian and his efforts because
Well, what I love about Twitch is it's sort of created this Wild West sort of world for TV and for visual entertainment.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with streaming. So as soon as streaming was introduced, the major labels were angry and everyone was
Spotify.
Spotify.
You guys work very closely with Spotify.
We
So
do.
like Spotify, like the comics, I think the digital version of the comic is available to Spotify only.
Yes, Spotify only.
Spotify only fans, and so you have to like sign in with your Spotify account, and then also they gave away 200 comics, physical comics to
Our top 200
your
fans.
200 fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our top 200 fans just got an email one day that said, "Hey, thanks for listening to Vian Isaac. Here's a free comic." And so it was cool to see the social people posting the comics and being excited about that.
Yeah, but I mean, who else has Spotify?
Oh man, I turned
You guys
hard.
Yeah, I 100% like Spotify changed my life.
Yeah.
Good.
Like yeah.
Legitimately,
that's
it changed my life.
Yeah,
that's
Oh, ours as well. So.
In a different way.
But yeah, like in the beginning, I know a lot of record labels and artists were mad about it because they weren't getting paid.
Right, and-
Really, they'd get like a cent.
Yes,
for
or less,
whole
0.004 of
Right.
a
Oh
cent.
God.
So, so listen a lot, guys, please.
Yeah.
No, but what was so cool is like I was just coming out of college and I didn't really care about like, I was just like I just need to make enough to live. I don't really care. So everyone else was angry and I was like, man, I think this is gonna be something. So then I was like, I gotta meet these people. Like we gotta like share our music, and that's kind of how it all started. So.
Oh man.
No, not to
It's
overhype it, but I will say it's a system that I'm very happily invested in. They hooked me early, and
Oh, dude, Discover Weekly.
Discover
Why Discover Weekly?
Discover
Oh.
Weekly.
Oh God.
Love it.
So
Love it.
this is
Yeah.
why I have music taste now, is because every week they feed me 30 new songs. I'm like, I liked like 6 of these.
Although, but sometimes it's like.
Sometimes
I
I'm
like-
like, do you know me?
Well, every now and then it's like, here's
Who
some
do
great
you
music
think I-
we think you've never heard, and it's like Kansas, and I'm like, guys.
Like, I listened to Janis Joplin one time.
This is why I left Pandora, though. I made the mistake of clicking like on one version of what's that song from the George Clooney movie? Crap.
because there's only like one.
The Mountain. I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow.
Oh, brother!
It played every version of that song ever
Oh, yeah.
because there's 4,000. I was like,
Wow.
and so I left Pandora because I was
But
not
like-
a man of constant sorrow.
I feel like I've told this story before, but like 3 months ago, I don't know if I've told Chat before.
Yes.
Where I was like,
yes.
'cause I was a hardcore club kid, and I would go dancing all the time. And the problem with being a club kid in the '90s is that once you've heard that song, it's gone, and you don't know what it was, who played it. You were too drunk at the time to ask the DJ. It's over. And I had a song that I had heard when I was like 16 and had a fake ID and got into the club, and it was like, well, it's just gone now. And then in my 40s, I am driving in my car listening to my top 30, and it pops up, and I'm like, no, it's real.
Seriously, sometimes Spotify is spooky. Like you'll be talking with somebody about like a musical and everything, and then it'll come out with like the Pentatonics version of like
you'd
the
think
big
they
show-stopping
sponsored this
number.
episode, but
You're like,
they
what?
didn't.
I know, right? Yeah.
No, that's the thing is I don't know Spotify anything, but like, how do it know? How do it know, Taliesin?
AI.
I can't do it.
It's the algorithm.
Well, and then it
that's
tells you if your
listening.
favorite bands are coming into town and tells you
Yes.
to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which I didn't know you guys were so hooked up with. That means that they'll actually go through my little Spotify algorithm when you come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You guys will definitely find out.
You'll get a message
Yeah,
to come
people
party.
should shout out to some people. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're in chat right now going, thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious about all the people in Spotify and what streaming services that you all use.
I'll also ask, because we did the back row, we didn't do the front row, and I saw people be a little sad that we didn't do the front row. What was the first concert that you guys went to?
Yeah. Or like
Yeah.
one that really made a big impression.
Like what
on
was
you.
because you may not remember the first, but there's something
Sure.
that hit of live music.
Yeah, V, you want to go?
Mine was Green Day.
That was the concert where I first
Actually-
smelled pot.
Alex went and saw Billy Joel the other day, right? Billy Joel
On Monday.
and I don't
That's
know.
a whole other story.
Yes,
It's a different
That's a
I'm
different
sorry.
dude.
Billy Joel Armstrong. Anyway, yeah, Alex has some sort of crazy story, but we'll tell that another time. I don't know. You came in and looking at me with these crazy eyes, and you're like, and when they showed me this picture of you with him, and went, I have stories. So I look forward to
It's
that.
not even that exciting, but I'm just overwhelmed.
Green Day is
That happened 4 days ago.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
awesome.
And the first like song that I learned on guitar now was Good Riddance.
Good Riddance.
Yeah.
Yes, I once forgot that song on my stereo in my room. I put it on repeat, and then I left the house, and my dad worked from home. His office was right below my room, and he says it's his least favorite song now. Because all day he was like, am I hearing something?
You like gaslit your dad.
It was an accident.
Green Day.
Oh my god. What was yours?
My first concert was Hilary Duff.
Yeah.
And I think she's still influencing my life. And now I think it's also kind of funny because I was like, whoa, she had the Lizzie McGuire thing with like the cartoon version of her.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So I love her. But my favorite concert I've ever been to, I drove to Indianapolis to see Sufjan Stevens play.
Oh, wow.
Which album?
And Carrie and Lowell.
Oh, good one.
And I'm like such a hardcore Sufjan fan. I like kind of didn't believe he was like a real person. Actually, I never thought about him being like a person. And then so we pull up to the venue and we like got there early, and I was like, what if I see Sufjan? Like, oh, I'm not going to, you know. And then I get out the car and he's sitting on his bike, like next to our car, and I walked up to him and like talked to him for like 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then, yeah,
I'm so sad he only did 2 states. I'm so sad.
he's wonderful.
Chat
wonderful.
Chat is
I was
having.
waiting for
Yeah, I'm very pleased.
So yeah, he probably also inspired the banjo in my life. So
Oh man, yeah, like chat was like, yes, Lizzie McGuire, and yeah, and a lot of.
I had a roommate that played the banjo. It was the best way to wake up.
yeah, oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But the last concert I went to was Brian Wilson of the
Oh,
Beach
nice.
Boys.
Oh,
Wow.
good.
On the Pet Sounds tour.
Pet Sounds was
I
the first
cried
vinyl
the
I ever
whole
owned.
time.
That was my first
It
vinyl.
might have been my
Really?
first vinyl.
Such a good album.
Speaking of
Such a good album.
Spotify, they put out a new
Pet Sounds.
on Pet. Yeah,
You can
a new
hear
remastering.
all of their songs.
Yeah,
So
the new
good.
remaster.
Only the vocals.
Very
It's
good,
so
yes.
good.
And they're not auto-tuned. Like
No.
it was before auto-tuned, so if you go listen to that album, you will
Yeah.
Hear all that
There's also
weird
kicking
shit
around
in there.
an audio only version of "Wouldn't It Be Nice,"
Yeah.
and
What?
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, we can't.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed to sing
I'm not
copyrighted
gonna do it 'cause I
songs.
can't do it justice, but
Yeah, that was an early vinyl for me,
Or the
man. That was
Google.
crazy. Ah.
Yeah.
I'm back to vinyl now. I just got back into
It's the
vinyl, so I'm
Stream
loving
sponsored
it.
by Spotify.
Give us money.
So-
Your turn.
Money, please.
I don't remember what my first concert was per se, but the first like really emotional one was Mumford and Sons, and like
Nice.
it was
People
so
in-
amazing.
They're
Yeah.
literally just calling out Mumford and Sons because
they-
you brought a banjo.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff, so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Mumford and Sons. Wow, they must be amazing
They're so
live.
yeah. I saw them in New York, in Brooklyn, in the Barclays Center, and then there was this one moment where they like unplugged as much as you can in like a huge venue like that, and like went out into like kind of this like little stage area in the audience, and like it just like fell like silent, and they played some of their songs with like just the guitar and vocals and stuff, and it was amazing. Yeah, I cried during that. It was so good.
they did one of my favorite covers of Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
the Boxer.
Yes,
That's
Like
good
I
song.
love the original version of it. So when I heard it, I was like, "This isn't gonna be. Oh, it's really."
Yeah, it is.
I have a whole file of just my favorite
I
covers.
mean, of course,
I'm such a
sure.
fan of like a good cover. A good cover is
Yeah.
is
Oh,
the
me,
thing.
yeah. I'm big into EDM, so I do like some remixes.
So
Yeah.
you haven't first or best or
Oh.
both.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
First from most intense. We were asked to as well.
Wow. Okay. So when I was little, I've been going to like concerts since I was like really little. My parents always took me to things like, and I went to a lot of the like classical concerts and folk stuff. I think the first concert that I went to like as an adult was King Diamond. I was dating a guy that liked metal and stuff. And
I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah, but it was great. He was an amazing theatrics, and I loved the music, and like the opening bands were really good because like it's
Good metal show, man.
That's the thing is
Good
it's
metal
like
show,
I
good
really
show.
love any music that is good that I like. You know, I'm not like, oh, I hate this whole entire genre of a thing. So yeah, and I've more recently gotten more into like metal, which is so I kind of like listen to him. Oh my God, people are calling out some really amazing things. But in terms of a concert that really,
Really?
oh my
Come
God,
on.
there's just so many.
You get out.
There's so many to choose from.
I think she just was
Name
at
them
one
all.
just now.
God, I didn't.
Like,
I mean, honestly, like this
You were
is.
crying pretty hard about 20
This
minutes
is-
ago.
Yeah, so it's maybe a Vion Isaac show.
I mean, like,
I don't want to push you.
it would be weird to say, but like, I am 100% certain that like when people ask me like tomorrow and forward, like what is my favorite concert I've ever been to, it's going to be this one. Like 100%.
That joke got so emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were joking, but this is
this
will
is-
be my favorite concert that I've ever been to. Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
I know, and there's gonna be more in 2 minutes.
I'm so old. I saw the Purple Rain tour.
Jealous. Whoa.
I don't know them.
Prince.
Oh!
Sorry.
You
Bless
old
you.
Townsend.
Bless you. Prince's Purple Rain tour. But
Prince,
I
yes.
saw churches play the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and that fucked my shit up like a year ago.
Oh
was
wow.
nuts.
That's gotta be intimate. That's not a big.
It was deeply intimate, and they had this amazing light setup that lit the entire cemetery up with like rainbow lights, and it was just like
That's awesome.
I'm living in a rainbow full of just this amazing European singers, and it's just so much and music
I
for
recently
overdubs.
saw Amanda Palmer live at the Whiskey, I think, and so it's like she was like literally, I was literally right next to the stage, and she was like over me and stuff, and at some point she like reached out, some girl was like filming it on her phone and stuff, and so she reached out and like took the phone, like she reached over my head and took the phone and like put it in her bra and everything, and she's amazing, crazy. Oh, I saw an evening with Neil and Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
So Neil Gaiman and yes, oh
Yeah.
my God, Hein, I cannot even
Oh, yeah.
tell you. So it was like on Halloween, and it would be like Amanda Palmer would play like a Dresden Dolls song or one of her songs, and then he would like read a short story or a poem, and then they'd like sing a song together, and it was amazing. And they were so good, and like, oh God, and that honestly. Yeah, and it was. This was in like 2007, 6 or something, and it changed my life. She sang this song called "In My Mind," and it's about like being the person that you want to be. And I cried, and it changed my life. That concert changed my life. Yeah.
A good concert can.
It did, and I was like, I'm gonna go off my medication. Let's seize the day. And things have been great ever since. Now you know a little bit about Erica. So yeah, honestly, concerts can, yeah, right? Concerts have the power, are so powerful. And I wrote a paper in sociology class in college about the power of sort of group feels, yeah, about the dynamics of group experience.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite pulp songs. I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but is this the way the future is supposed to feel, or just 20,000 people standing in a field?
Yeah,
Which is always
right?
just like the most concert, like yeah, I feel that.
V, you want
Disco 2000.
You want to tell me such a beautiful thing about music and how it like makes our time line up.
Yeah, that's something Sarah and I always talk about. She brought it up, how it's one of the few times where your time, your sense of time synchronizes.
Locks up with everyone else.
So we're you know, sometimes people say, wow, that hour flew by, or sometimes people say, oh man, this hour's taken forever. So we all have different senses of time, but music and dance are the only two mediums where a group of people come together and your sense of time becomes the same thing.
Synchronized.
One of the best things you can do to really get a group feeling each other and interacting is to let them sing together.
Yes, exactly.
Even if it's just like drunk,
Oh my god.
like shanties, people who sing together and time together. That's where a lot of like when people rowed boats back in the day, they would sing songs or
Yep.
So they were
did menial tasks. They would
Yeah.
sing songs to synchronize themselves. So
Right.
it's the best way to get people thinking together because you're breathing at the same
Every
time.
most traditional shanties are based off of what particular task you were supposed
Yeah,
to be
so
doing
you're
to the
doing
timing
it.
of the
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, the sea
And same-
shanties versus the ditch diggers versus
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that are like labor songs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and you keep time with them.
How
But
did we not use that in the comic? Because
Well,
Yes!
Well, here's the thing: is Sarah? She brought that up to me for the first time.
That's
and so
actually
it's-
what. So we have a song called "Bird Song." That's actually what that song is about.
oh,
It's like our hearts beating together, like when we're coming together and listening to the music with each other, and because I think music, when you're in a concert or you're in a car with the windows down and you're blasting music, those are the moments when you feel like yourself. Like those are the moments you feel home,
Yep.
and it's like this community coming together and like experiencing life fully alive together. So, yeah, I think that's home.
Yeah, and it
Definitely.
connects you to other human beings that you'll
Abs-
never meet.
Yeah, with completely different backgrounds, stories, histories. Those are the moments that combine everyone, and
Yeah.
that's home.
I was joking last time I went to a show, like we were saying, oh, they should let us take off work for this. It's important, right? And I was like, this is my church. And then I was like, I'm not joking. That was real. I was like, I meant
Absolutely.
When I moved to Los Angeles the first time, it was the writer strike was looming over, and if you knew anything about LA at the time, everyone was like butthole clenched in fear, like
Yeah,
like,
that was
it
a rough time,
It was
man.
so rough, and I was
It's a
a
city under
lowly
siege.
executive, and we had nothing. We have is we have one thing in production, so like if the writer strike went through, literally everything that my job has come through, and I was just out of college. I was all this stuff,
Yeah.
and the Avett Brothers released Emotionalism,
Oh
which
my
is
gosh.
like it's very emotional.
Yeah.
and they had a wonderful song, which I can't remember the lyric now, of course, but basically it boils down to like. You can't please everybody all the time. I think actually that is the lyric. And like listening to that as I drove like over the canyon roads to Beverly Hills, like dreading what I was doing, and then over the canyon road.
That was Coldwater, wasn't it?
It was
That's
Coldwater.
the most, that's the most emotional canyon in Los Angeles.
And like it's
So
these
much shit has
rich-
happened up there.
Rich
Oh my
people
God.
houses, and you're just like you're driving back to your shared flat with your like weird ass roommate, and you're just the Avett Brothers are singing to you. And even now, I mean, it's been like it's been a decade. It's been over a decade because the writer strike was 2007.
God.
I
Yeah.
can still
wow.
listen to that album and be right there in my little red bean of a
Yeah,
car, driving over Coldwater Canyon.
It's
Wondering if I should maybe turn left. over
no,
the
because
cliff.
you would have felt better about your shit if you had taken Laurel. It's so true. It's so true.
That's such an LA joke.
Ralph's always chunks up the
Oh,
trail.
Well, yes,
Laurel
it does.
Canyon.
Besides, I lived off Beverly Glen, so I take Coldwater anyway.
I feel you. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
But yeah, but that album, like,
That's the story.
it spoke to me in a way that, like, I don't think even my most trusted friend could have at the time.
Yeah.
So it's so important.
I feel like music is a language that expresses things that we can't always figure out how to say. And it's the language of our hearts.
It is.
Yeah. I think it's time to play more music. That's gonna make things better. Okay.
So far, we
And
got-
this is the set that Sarah is gonna be joining
Yeah.
us for. So.
Yes. Yes. I'll do this.
Oh yep.
Heidi's going to sleep.
Story's way too long. It was too much to say in like 5 minutes, but he's actually related with your
She is so far from okay.
I don't
desiccated, dehydrated husk.
I was gonna say you did hydrate earlier.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think we need a
boy.
water bottle over
Oh
here.
wait, yeah, I got my cup of water. I know.
Refill those tears, girl.
Thanks, everybody.
This is salty.
Thanks for the tissues, Liz.
So this first song is called Will I Find My Home? Ready? Left the nest when I was far too young. Never set my flight for the sun. Are you worth getting lost over, love? If I offer myself, will you lift me up? Are you worth letting into my heart? If I go and get caught, will I fall too far? Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you, home in you. Hey! Thought he'd find his place a little higher. It's curious, the flame of the fire. Is it worth getting lost over, love? If I offer myself, will it lift me up? Is it worth letting into my heart? If I go and get caught, will I fall too far? Yeah! Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. Be my place to land when I'm tired, when my feathers are burnt by the fire. I surrender myself to your arms, just hold me tighter. Will I find my own? Will I find my own? My home in you, home in you.
Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. Will I find my home? Will I find my home? My home in you, home in you. I need unchangeable love, a house that's built on the rock. A storm is raging on me as I'm pulled to the deep. The waves can't move me at all. No, the waves can't move me at all. Out of sand, my heart is shaped, forming into love or hate. No matter how hard I try, how hard I try, fear won't flee my fickle mind. I need unchangeable love, a house that's built on the rock. A storm is raging on me as I'm pulled to the deep. The waves can't move me at all. Oh, I need unchangeable love, a house that's built on the rock. A storm is raging on me as I pull to the deep. The waves can't move me at all. No, the waves can't move me at all. Ooh, no. I need unchangeable love, a house that's built on the rock. A storm is raging on me as I pull to the deep. The waves can't move me at all. No, the waves can't move us at all. Thank you.
So for this next one,
We have a special guest.
I'd love to.
Perfect.
So this next one is called Marble Floors, and Erica has been kind enough to play some violin on it with us. So.
I want a home, I want a home with marble floors and a love I can hold, a love I can hold when those floors get cold. And she'll dance on my toes, she'll dance on my toes as the evening grows through the chimney. We'll float through the chimney. We'll float from the clouds. I'll make her a coat.
And those neon lights fill the sky so bright. My heart is tired, it's burnt on fire from the love that has died. Take the sparks that survive from the ashes tonight. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la I want a home, I want a home with marble floors and a love I can hold, a love I can hold when those floors get cold. And she'll dance on my toes, she'll dance on my toes as the evening grows, the evening grows. Through the chimney we'll float, through the chimney we'll float, and from the clouds I'll make her a coat, I'll make you a coat.
That was called Marble Floors.
That was so beautiful. That was so well done.
I'm sorry, I screwed up the first one a little bit. Oh my god. Oh, buddy.
There's going to be hugging for a moment.
Oh my god.
Hi.
Thank you for following along for that one part. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you so much for letting me play with you. It was, as I said, we were kind of, thank you, chat. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Marble Floors is a song that means kind of a lot to me. I heard it at a time in my life that I really needed to hear it, I think. And it was like a last minute, and it was an email. We'd been going back and forth on the production side of things, trying to set the set list, and then you give me the set list and you said, oh, and by the way, Sarah Jane's coming, and I said, oh wow, Will I Find My Home is like one of my favorite love songs ever, and I'm like messing around with the violin and like trying to learn like a the string line for Marble Floors, and you're like, oh cool, we should jam, and I was like, cool, yeah, okay, and then cool. And then we were all hanging out, like we got to go out for lunch and everything, and you said, hey, so like, do you want to like play the line with us? And I was like, okay, I will show up at soundcheck with my violin, I will play, but you have to promise me. I made you pinky swear that if like it was not good, you would tell me, and you'd be like, next time. So but you were all amazing, and thank you so much. That was fantastic. It was so good. And no, please don't. Please don't. No, don't do that. Oh god. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was amazing. I love the string line, but Marble Floors, there's just, you talk about in the commentary that it is like this layered sort of feeling to it, and there's a lot of instrumentation in it, and you wanted to create texture.
Yes.
You said
that's
for the lovers to
dance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, so that song is I tracked that in a studio in Nashville called RCA Studio B, and that's where Elvis Presley.
Yeah, Lauren knows. Lauren knows all the things.
This is such a
I
great
was like,
bonus
Lauren, I
track.
was
Don't
like,
let that go by casually.
I was like, Lauren's not. Yeah, but this is like Elvis's studio.
Yes, this is where he recorded all his hits, and for me, what was
Is
such
that
a,
the one with the checkerboard floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta show you pictures later. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
This is so
This is
insane.
everything I could have wanted. This is great.
Like a part of my life that I'd kind of forgotten about. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's such a great studio.
Oh, it is. It's probably my favorite studio in Nashville. It doesn't have the best, like it doesn't, not the most high tech or anything, but the feel.
And the acoustics in it
is
are just, they're like
beautiful.
nowhere else. They're like
Yeah.
nowhere else.
Yeah, and so the piano that's in that studio is the actual piano.
It's been
that-
around for
Yeah, that Elvis
almost
played
a decade.
all his hits on. So the engineer told me that, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It's a
that's-
32, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
it's old. It's old and well maintained. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, and it's a beautiful
Actual
piano.
ivory and the ivory.
It is.
So,
it is.
but you wrote Marble Floors a long time ago, you said.
Yes,
and-
almost 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah. So I was in the Belmont Mansion at Belmont University. There's this big southern mansion, and they had a piano in this checkered floor room with these pillars and this window to this garden. And then I just sat there and I was like, oh, I just started playing around, and it's one of those songs that came in like 10 minutes, and it was wonderful.
Wow.
And yeah, it's weird
That
how
mansion
works.
is special though.
It is.
Like if you're gonna have lightning strike, that's gonna be one
Yes,
of the places.
that was
Yeah.
a lightning
So
strike.
you
song.
wrote
I'm
it-
glad you
You
owned
wrote
that.
it on checkered floors and then went and recorded it at checkered floors?
Yes, but I wrote about marble floors, so I don't know what I was. I missed the memo. But,
I want to see like there's a picture that goes along with the single for it. I know, but like I want to see like what it looks like, what this house looks like. You said in the commentary, it's like you describe in it like the all the things that you want like for this love kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely. So
Spring.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's nice. Oh,
yes, as you can see, I want giraffes in my house.
yeah. Who doesn't, right?
For the second floor pet.
Wow. Wow.
I thought about it.
No. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I always felt it was a duet, that song.
Yeah.
And so Sarah was kind enough to, I asked her, will you please sing this with me? And so
I was like, I don't know.
Oh, it's so lovely. It's so lovely. But and then also for your songs. So Unchangeable Love, you wrote that one.
With Vion and Hein.
Yes, yo,
Oh.
that's so funny that you. Yeah,
That was our first co-write ever with
Yes.
Hein.
How long ago was that?
A year?
about a year ago.
About
Year
year and a
and a
half.
half.
Year and a half.
Yeah, you're right.
It was when Hein had first moved to Nashville
From
Yeah.
New York. Yeah.
from New York.
That was, I remember that in the studio. That was a very collaborative effort, and the cool part. So, how Vian just mentioned like a song coming in like 10 minutes, and it just like comes at you. So with that one, I remember we were writing and kind of finding each other's styles and everything, and it was kind of working, and we got some verse parts down and everything. And with that one, and so we laid in some things, and then there was this moment that, do you remember this? And then Vian just like
Grabbed the pen and paper and he just like wrote.
and
all
then
of this
he
stuff
just
down.
like played the chord progression we were working with and like sang like all this stuff, and we were like, this is it, like. And then like we wrote the whole thing and like did it, and like the production's really beautiful with the strings and everything. And I remember us going for a walk after that. I remember it was like so much that we were like, guys, let's go for a walk. Like, let's go. Like, and so we like walked around. And, it was,
And so for all three of the songs in the set, Marble Floors and While I Find My Home and Unchangeable Love, it describes like home or a house or some sort of feeling of home and love
Yeah.
and stuff. I really love that it just kind of is a theme that lines itself
And
in there.
it's almost like Through Juniper Vale is about home, but the home concept really like weaves its way in before we even try to purposefully put it in there. I guess we never really have to try. It always just kind of shows up. And Unchangeable Love was this, I think the recording of Unchangeable Love was super special for me as, I guess, a vocalist, because I guess I was in like classical voice lessons in college, and my voice teacher used to say like, there's this voice that I know is there that's just you, like not trying to be like anyone else, because I think sometimes I, try to sound like everyone else when I'm singing, and I think there was a moment where I like started singing that song, and Vian was like, I've never heard you sing like that before. I think that's how you really sound. And I think that was this moment where I was like, wow, I've been kind of like bottling myself up, like trying to sound like everyone else, and all of a sudden, like kind of on accident, I started singing like myself, and it was the thing that they were like, you have to keep singing like that. Like, why would you sing like any way else? So I think since that song, I've been trying to sing like myself and figure out what that sound is, or yeah, I think that sound, I guess that also played into like a finding home for me, because I was like, wow, singing like myself really is like singing in my home space. So yeah.
It's true. You have such a unique style.
Thanks.
And a lot of people in chat have been saying like, oh, we can hear like her classical training and everything, but it's true. I think we were talking about this, how like if you'd studied contemporary, it might have been different, because you might have been tried to have been shoeboxed into some other, like sort of pop voice, that shiny happy pop voice. As,
It's hard to break that habit once you're doing it.
Yeah, and like for voiceover, we talk about it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's like the shiny happy pop voice and stuff that it's like.
And then
easy,
there's the gristly stuff that's like really fun to do.
Yeah, and then there's the voice that's you.
Yeah. So I think I actually like doing the classical degree was kind of an accident, sort of, because I wanted to do contemporary music as my degree, but the school that I went to only offered classical. And I was like, I compared the classical degree to the contemporary degree, and they were so similar that I was like, all right, I'll just do the classical and give it a try, and then it ended up being such a blessing. And the school I went to, Lipscomb, has such a great classical program. It was
My
really
sister
where-
became a Spanish teacher, so I don't really know the parallel.
Yeah, so
but their concerts were always really good.
Yeah,
so.
we had a great
And the musical reviews, I was always like, wow, this is really good.
Shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and just we're gonna get into the last set momentarily, but really briefly, Will I Find My Home? You wrote that when you were leaving college, right? And you were trying to figure that out.
yeah, so I wrote. So Vian and I started writing songs together before Through Juniper Vale was even like an idea, and Will I Find My Home was like the second or third song we ever wrote together, and I kind of at that point was searching for home within myself, and that was something I talked about all the time. So we wrote about it because I went to Vian and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about this idea of home. And
She brought this whole notebook, this thick notebook, just with notes and notes and notes about trying to figure out what home is.
Yeah.
And, like any
People were
angle,
asking
it's,
about that on Lore Masters in the chat. People were like,
it's,
oh yeah.
Here. Is it in that?
You have it?
You have it?
It is. It's behind. It is there.
Oh!
Yeah, so my
Well.
my cousin made this little journal for me.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
my,
Is that you? Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god. This is beautiful, like heaven and pie.
And yeah, so I have I have all of these pages and like all these sticky notes, and they just go on for days and days. But yeah, so one of the things that one of the things in here that someone said to me, they were like, "You're always trying to find home in people," and I was like, "What does that even mean?" And that's kind of what started this search for home, and I think that's kind of what inspired Will I Find My Home in You, is this idea of like, is it possible for us to feel at home, like find a piece of home in every single person that we meet? Like, I believe that that is a possibility, like we all have a little piece of home for each other in us. So that's really what that song's about, and this book is full of all kinds of stuff like that.
Thank
and
you
the lyrics and things like that.
so much for sharing that. That is
Thank you.
incredibly special.
I was very lucky that it was in that laptop case.
Wow. Okay, we gotta get to the last set. I think our producers are telling us, but wow. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. There's also there's on the
And
back.
what's funny is she meant this to be a little dinosaur, but it kind of looks like Cinderella.
It looks like Cinderella. Oh.
Yeah, he's eating a tree.
Oh my God. Also, when you guys were playing Revolver 2, I'd never heard. I'd heard you say Cinderella in it, right?
Yes.
Cinderella.
Yeah, yes.
I had thought it was some other lyrics, and I never had looked that up. And wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's Sinaloa, but it means a place of rest.
Yeah.
In an African language. So. Yeah, I forgot which one.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Don't know how I'm gonna.
We're gonna finish with 3 songs. This first one is called "The London Air Raids," and then we'll go into "Till Your Heart Is Still," and then we'll finish with a short acoustic one. So this has been awesome. All the people on chat, it's been just absolutely wonderful. All the comments, thank you so much, and thank you to Geek and Sundry. You guys have been amazing, and to Erica on violin and Sarah. And her beautiful music, and all the tech people. You guys are awesome. So, Jose, you the man.
Well done.
And we sit here so close in the dark, and we're so close to being torn apart. Every crash I can feel in our foundation, it runs through my veins, and I hate the sensation, but I know that I'm safe here with you, 'cause we made it through everything, the old and the new. Just wake me up when all this is over. Wake me up and tell me it's not true. My sweet love, watch the air raids as the streets of London are not safe. And I wish that we could escape as the beat of the drum keeps on its play. And I long to feel the rain on my face, so I wait. And I want the bombs to fade away. And the hum of the airplane is such a sweet sound as we're coming up from underground, coming up to see our ruined stage, coming up to see those ruins that you've made. And in the east I hear a nation shout, and we wait for the day when we can sing it out. My sweet love, watch the air raids as the streets of London are not safe. And I wish that we could escape as the beat of the drum keeps on its play. And I long to feel the rain on my face, so I wait. And I want the bombs to fade away. My sweet love, watch the air raids as the streets of London are not safe. And I wish that we could escape as the beat of the drum keeps on its play, and I long to feel the rain on my face, so I wait. I have thought of the little things in life from time to time, like waking up with another breathing breath right by my side. But time pulls at this flesh as we lay here softly, and you ask me if I'd love you till, if I'd love you till your heart is still. If I'd love you till, if I'd love you till your heart is still. I'll give you my all, my heart and my soul, make them better than before. I'll give you my all, a body to hold, until your heart is still. And I have fought against the never-ending cycles in our lives. See, all I need is a little bit of loving you by my side. But time pulls at this flesh as we lay here softly, and you ask me if I love you till, if I love you till your heart is still. If I'd love you till, if I'd love you till your heart is still. I'll give you my all, my heart and my soul, make them better than before. I'll give you my all, a body to hold. I'll give you my all, my heart and my soul, make them better than before. I'll give you my all, a body to hold, till your heart is still. Just love me with my faults and my scars, 'cause I just love you the way that you are. Just love me with my faults and my scars, 'cause I just love you the way that you are. Just love me with my faults and my scars, 'cause I just love you the way that you are. Just love me with my faults and my scars, 'cause I just love you the way that you are. Thank you guys so much. So, only if everyone helps us sing.
Yes.
No deal.
It has very It has very, very easy lyrics. You'll pick them up really fast.
Yeah, so the only words in the whole song is
A lot of oohing and ahhing. And then things will get better, things will get good. And
which
that's
is
it.
kind of what the whole album, at the end of the album, we put that song, it's the last song on the album, that's kind of the whole message is things will always get better. Okay, let's give it a shot.
shout out to the crew, to Chief, and to Jose, and to Kenny, and to Mike, and Liz, and Holly, and who else? And
I guess Ryan. Maybe Ryan.
Yeah, right.
Ryan for reaching out to the band and inviting them here today, and for coming in and just like doing so much to make this happen tonight. Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
and such a spectacular. Thank you for every camera that we could put together.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing night. Where can they find you online really quick?
Yeah, Ian Isaac and Sarah through Juniper Vale.
Yes. IanIsaac.com, through JuniperVale.com. Thank you so much, Geek and Sundry.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Please come back. Please, God, come back. And to everybody in our audience, our studio audience, thank you so much. And to Josh for pictures. And to all of you, everybody in chat who was so kind. Thank you for all of the love. And please check them out. All right, everybody, thank you so much. We have to go and have cake. We love you. See you next week. Oh my God.